If your studio is sounding like this and you want it to sound like this, then you need to go check out AudioSilk. If you're working in a home studio, especially in a rented flat, you've probably come across this problem. Your recordings sound off, mixes sound boxy, and no matter how good your gear is, just doesn't sound right. Beginners usually think it's time to buy some new monitors or perhaps a new interface. But the difference between a beginner sounding setup and a pro sounding studio is the acoustic treatment. The real problem is high-end panels are expensive and have to be installed permanently, whilst foam panels don't really do anything and they look horrible as well. Now you may or may not know, I've just moved to Manchester and I'm currently sat in my new studio space. And I absolutely love it here. I've made a lot of great music already this year. It's been really exciting. And the biggest thing though, is this room didn't sound that great. I obviously moved in from my previous studio, which you may have seen the studio tour on my channel. And I had some foam panels up, which was kind of doing the job, but again, not giving me the best sound possible. Now I'm obviously in a rented space and I'm not in a position where I can go up to GIK Acoustics and pay for these massive panels to be installed permanently on the walls. My problem was when I was in my previous studio in London, I didn't have any panels that would actually stay up. When I was in my last studio, I was using permanent adhesive, which means obviously that's going to damage the walls. So when I moved to this studio, I wanted to make sure I had a solution that is both going to treat the room properly, it looks good, and is actually going to stay on the walls without damaging them. That's where AudioSilk comes in. These are renter-friendly acoustic panels that are perfect for home studios like this one. The first thing I noticed is how lightweight the panels are. They're proper acoustic treatment, not just foam, but they're easy to handle and easy to mount. There's no drilling or anything permanent, so there's no stress about losing my deposit. I measured and planned my reflection points, put the panels up, and that was basically it. All I needed was a set of large command strips. I used 4 for each panel, and the key to doing this is just making sure that you're properly pressing on each panel. So this is to make sure that they're properly connecting with the wall, and then you're not going to have anything falling down. You can use medium or large command strips. I use the large just to make sure, but again, make sure you're pressing hard for 60 seconds on each panel so they properly contact with the wall. It's important to remember you can use the 3M command strips, as these are the ones that are going to make the difference. I've used really dodgy ones before, and you're going to just spend all of your time putting them back up onto your walls because you're not using the proper strips. So in the description, you'll find a link to the ones that I've used so you can follow the same. Obviously, sound is the most important thing, and we're going from this to now the panels are up, this. Whilst this room's not perfect, it's made a huge difference, and now I've not got these horrible reflections bouncing around my room. I was looking for my key reflection points, which are obviously behind me and in front of me. I've now got on my door as well, which is not an easy place to put panels on either. And not only are these panels doing the job in terms of acoustic treatment, but they're also doing the job aesthetically. For me, I think it's a really important factor when you're wanting to be creative. It's about getting into the mood and feeling the part. When you're wanting to write good music, being in a place that feels like a proper studio is sometimes the difference maker. Whilst you can make music anywhere, it's important to remember that you want to feel the part when you're making music, and sometimes that can really influence your creativity. The before and after sound test is quite amazing. The difference in this room is a lot. It's not the best room to be having a studio in, but ultimately we can't always have these choices. I have to have this in the same space as my room, and that's just quite typical for a lot of producers out there. Not everyone has access to a separate space for a studio, nor can they afford to rent out a studio every time they want to make music. So this really is a great solution for creating that home studio space to give you better quality sound, whilst also making your studio just feel more professional. So whether I'm recording vocals, mixing, or just producing, everything just feels more controlled. So if you're serious about improving your sound and making your space into an actual studio, you're not willing to fork out hundreds and thousands on acoustic treatment, then I would say AudioSilk is the best way to go. It's more effective than cheap foam. It's easier to install than traditional panels, and it's also a perfect solution if you're in a rented space like me. For home studios, content creators, vocalists, and producers, this solution just makes sense to me. I want to give a big thank you to the AudioSilk guys for sending me these panels to check out, and it's great to be able to give you a review of them. I'm going to leave links in the description for everything you need to get set up with AudioSilk, including the command strips as well as the panels, and you'll even find a discount code for some money off. It's great to have my new flat and studio space finally set up and feeling like the proper part. I'm really excited to share a lot of the things I've been working on in this studio, so look out for that, and I'll see you on the next video.